got our scale drilling on autopilot, and we've begun to play simple phrases that end on notes that fit the chord changes that we're playing over. The next stage is to add some colour to our phrases by using technique. A good place to start is with the 4 main techniques that blended together make up mostly guitar licks. They are hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides and bends. As always, my advice is learn to walk before you try to run. And a great way to do this is to take each of these techniques separately and put it under the microscope. First, make sure you've got the technique itself in its simplest form, nice and crisp. In most cases, this is a combination of the right amount of finger pressure such a thing as too much as well as too little, and precise finger positioning just behind the fret. So there, not there. With the slide, make sure you go straight from just behind that fret to just behind the fret of your target note. Don't slow down on the way. With bends, there are a few more details to attend to, as well as precise positioning. Again, right next to the fret. It's much harder to keep the sound clean if you're away from the fret, and to get the bend to go so far. As well as that, it's good to use a couple of extra fingers sometimes to give you a bit more control and strength in the bend, particularly if you're using heavier gauge strings. Controlling how far you bend a string is also important, and this can be both a physical problem, solved by keeping the fingers nice and perpendicular to the fretboard. Don't let it go flat like that, where they'll skid off the strings, and also bend with the wrist muscles rather than trying to do it with the little finger muscles like that. It can also be a listening problem, so you very often need to bend to an exact pitch, and a good drill for this is just to play the note you're going to bend to, listen to that, and then bend that note to match it. Once you've mastered these basic skills, you need to start exploring the variations that are available to you in each of these techniques. On the hammer-on, for example, you can vary the timing of the hammer, the force of it, the number of repeats, if any, the speed of the repeats, and the intensity of them. The force with which you hit the note prior to the hammer-on can also be varied to good effect. surprising number of variations for one simple technique perhaps, but each of the other techniques has a similar range of variations too. And again, the bend is perhaps the most variable of all. With this technique, the timing is effectively infinitely variable, especially if you play with a bit of sustain. You can hit the note straight, wait, and then bend. Or hit it and bend it immediately. Or you can bend it first, then play it and unbend it. This is usually called a pre-bend or released bend. You can bend it by stages, or bend it multiple times, in multiple ways. It's worth spending some time experimenting with all this variety. Each guitarist tends to develop their own trademark style when it comes to bending notes. And of course it's worth listening to some of the greats. B.B. King, Albert King, Freddie King, almost anybody whose surname is King, and Peter Green. These are just some of my favourites. So that's a quick glimpse exploring some of the possibilities using just the hammer-ons and the bends to demonstrate. I also advise spending a similar amount of time exploring the possibilities with pull-offs and slides as well. Once you've done the groundwork on each of these individual techniques, then it's time to start exploring what happens when we combine these techniques together to form licks. We'll start taking a look at that in the next soundbite. If you found this little video useful, please do click on the like button if there is one, or leave a comment, and do feel free to share the video with your friends. And if you'd like to gain full access to all our guitar teaching materials, please do visit the Secret Guitar Teacher website and take a free look round at what's available there. See you again soon.